Appreciate you. Love you, brother. Hey, Cindy. How you doing? How you doing,
Been
Cindy?
around the world. Be back in just a second. Stay right there. Here we go.
Ja.
All right, folks. We are back. YouTube Live, SportsRap TV. Get over to YouTube right now and check us out. SportsRap TV. You know that's what we do. It's your boy D
It's your boy Ball, baby.
in the building. So before we move into our NBA stuff and some other stuff, do what we always do. We got our Week 16 schedule.
All right.
We're gonna run through these games, give you our picks for the upcoming games. Then I will give you tonight's NBA and NHL schedules, and we will move on to our NBA talk because we got to talk some Sixers. And the game yesterday was disappointing, but I'm glad they had this game early in the season, and I'm not overly disappointed because I know the Nets had this game pegged on their schedule because we beat them the way we beat them in the playoffs last year. So I know they were looking forward to this game, and it's no threat, no worry because we play them again, so we have some time for some get back. So moving into Week 16, like we said, getting into the crunch time of this NFL season. Saturday, Texans at the Bucks.
It's tough. I think I'm gonna go with Houston.
That's what I'm going with. I'm going with the Texans.
I'm going with
And
Houston. Houston over Tampa Bay.
I'm going with the Texans because of my boy. And it's somewhat sad because I like the dude. I kind of like him as a player as well. It's just a matter of him growing into or gaining some consistency. Jameis Winston. As my dad so lovingly calls him, James Crabstick Winston. I'm going with the Texans because they put up 38 points against Detroit in the division game yesterday. And usually his MO is one good game, one or two bad games following. So I can't trust it. So I'm going to stay safe with this game. I'm going to go with the Texans as well. Bills and the Patriots. I'm going to go with the Patriots, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Pats.
And before we close out today, we got some stuff to talk about the New England Patriots. So we'll definitely get into that a little bit later on. Rams and the 49ers. I'm going with the Niners.
And I'm gonna go with my boys. Bounce back. We got to bounce back.
The Rams have something to play for, starting with yesterday's games. But they didn't come out and play like they had something to play for.
Right. They came out flat and stayed
flat. Right. And it's not saying that the Eagles are that much better. But for this particular week, this particular Sunday, they wanted it.
Yeah.
And they went out and got it. Shout outs to Greg Ward, the third, for that catch. Shout out to Miles Sanders for that catch. And also shout outs to Carson Wentz. And folks, you see, now there hasn't been the last 2 weeks. One was an overtime game, and this one was a comeback game. And albeit teams that on paper looking at rosters, they should have beaten. I'm not gonna say easily, but teams that they should have beaten with less problems than what they incurred in both of these games. 3 weeks ago, Carson Wentz couldn't get from under the bus.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to tell people it wasn't all his fault. And I also assured people that I'm not completely pulling him out of the water because he has made some throws, and it was again yesterday. But the last 2 weeks, he showed you that he can be that quarterback that he was brought here to be. Took it upon himself, was very authoritative in those drives late in these 2 games, and won these games.
Yeah.
Like that game, the touchdown he threw that won the Miles, that won the game in the corner, in that back corner. When you go back and Google that replay again, 2 defenders were diving at that play. And he was on the move. He extended that play, got on the move, and put something on that and got that there. So You know, it's
I don't
just
think
just a
anybody's
little
ever
funny.
doubted
Right, it's just
his
a little
arm
funny.
strength or things
Right, it's just a little
like
funny.
that.
But you know, it just proves our point of how you're not an all Philly fan, but
Right.
you live here, so you know how fickle these Philly fans are. It's like night and day. It's like turning on a light switch and turning it off.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, you turned that light switch on, and it was,
Listen,
3
weeks ago, they like, man, we just should
He
have
needs
traded
to
him.
do this. We shouldn't have never moved up to get him. Why is he now 2 weeks has just been okay.
He's been consistent.
Okay.
He's been consistent.
We needed him to play. And I mean, you can't ask for much more. This is what you want out of your stars, period. Whether it's here or not.
And your defense
he can have some subpar games.
Playing as well for the last couple weeks, so you need him to play well.
Right.
You need him to play well.
You do. So, moving into next Sunday, Jaguars at the Falcons. It's a toughie.
You know, the fact that Atlanta just beat us makes me sick. Because my nephew been talking to you. He ain't said nothing about Atlanta all year.
I mean, Julio Jones scored his first touchdown since week 3. Early in that game yesterday, I think. I think he had 2 touchdowns yesterday.
Yeah.
So that first one he caught was like his first touchdown since week 3. And what's that, 12 weeks? So you know what we're doing with that. Even though we can't say that they're that much better, they got some controversy and some turmoil going down there in Jacksonville. But
I give it to
for reasons like you just said, and the way that the Falcons won.
The fact that they beat us, I think kind of takes some energy. It puts that energy with them to take it to the next game to beat a team like Jacksonville. Right. They're a little more confident going into next week. Yeah. If we would have bombed them, then I would pick Jacksonville. Yeah. But
I'm going to ride with Jacksonville.
I'm gonna go with Atlanta. I think that they can. I think they can beat Jacksonville, and they home. I think they can beat them at home.
The Ravens against the Browns.
Oh,
I'm going with Action Jackson. It's no brainer.
Baltimore over Cleveland.
The Saints and the Titans. Now, I don't know. The Titans don't really have much to play for. The Saints could possibly still be playing for some positioning.
Yeah. I'll go with New Orleans.
I'm going to go with the Saints there.
I'll go with New Orleans.
I'll go with the Saints there. Panthers, Colts.
All right, Jules. Yeah, every time I pick y'all guys.
Panthers, Colts.
I'm going to go with Indianapolis at home.
I'm going with the Colts at home, too. Yeah. Bengals and the Dolphins. Another toilet bowl game. I'm going to go with the Dolphins, man.
All right, I'll just go for the sake of it. I'll go Cincinnati.
Go Cincinnati.
It's the battle of bombs.
Steelers and the Jets.
All right, I got to go with the Bird. I got to go with the Bird.
Jets. So that's 2 games we got there. I'm going to go with the Jets in that one. Just because I wasn't impressed with Devin Hodges yesterday.
Nah, I wasn't.
And Juju doesn't come back. Now people see that they got one receiver that can attempt to dominate. So, you know, teams coming up will do what most teams do. Lock him up, try to take him away, and make other teams beat you. So I'm going to push the envelope a little bit. I'm going to go with the Jets in that game. Giants and the Skins.
Is Eli still starting?
Man.
If Eli playing, I'm going to go with the Giants.
I'm going to
go with the Giants.
I'm going to go with the Giants.
I'm going to go with the Giants. Redskins is terrible.
Lions and the Broncos. I'm going with Detroit on the road.
Yeah, I go with Denver.
Raiders and the Chargers. It's another toughie. But I tend to want to go with the Chargers because of the way they got beat yesterday.
Yeah.
But then the Raiders, man, they kind of like, I kind of feel the same way about like I feel with James Winston.
I think they just waiting to move to
Vegas. Like you can't really get a read on what team is going to show up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I ain't messing.
So I'm gonna go with the Chargers at home. Cowboys at the Eagles. The other NFC East game. That's a toughie because going on the basis of yesterday and the week prior, you could kind of give yourself an edge and go with the Eagles on the resiliency and the sense of urgency they played with the last 2 weeks to make comeback wins. But again, we pretty much know what the Cowboys are. I think they for all intents and purposes, or lack of a better phrase, they kind of saved face yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough for me to pick this game, but man, oh man,
I'm gonna go with the Eagles, man. I'm gonna go with the home team. I think that they can minimize them.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
And
I know the Eagles fans gonna be like, "Man, we don't want your bad luck."
But history shows, like the last 2 years, the 2 years removed from the Super Bowl, but the last 2 years they've done the same thing. Last year they needed to win out, and they won out and made the playoffs, and then snuck in and won a game. But I still hold to what I said. If they somehow manage to defy the football odds and win the division and get in, on the road to possibly Seattle, San Francisco, or number 2 would be Saints, possibly now. On the road, not going to happen with the way they've been playing. And I think with any one of those teams, that sense of urgency would be a little bit too much, too late.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be too far behind. Like, it's not like you're playing the Giants and the Redskins.
Right.
You playing legit teams that are tops in their division, so in the conference. So, but for the sake of some all picks, I can go with the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to have a little bit more of a sense of urgency because of their situations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Cowboys are probably thinking now, we won this game, we beat the Rams, we kicked the Rams behind, we beat y'all, blew y'all out the last time we played y'all. Y'all been playing lackluster. Those are the kind of games that you tend to lose.
Yeah, they are. They are.
And you know, I'm not trying to jinx anything, but those are the kind of games that you tend to lose. And the Eagles got a taste of that going down to Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they know how it feels, and they've seen what could happen. And then it continued the 2 weeks. So I'm thinking that they're not going to want to play that way again and have to play that way throughout the remainder of the season. So I'm going to stick with the Eagles and see. The Cards and the Seahawks at home.
You know what about this game, man?
I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Of all the games that are going to be played on Sunday, this has got to be the game. Because this game right here can change a lot. Mm-hmm. Because this is a division game,
right? That
can dictate
division,
the entire division because
and the conference.
Because think about it, if Seattle loses, and we win, we are both tied.
Yep, and it goes to the head-to-head.
And then it comes to the last game. Now, if we lose and Seattle wins, Seattle team, and we're on the road in somebody's house. Arizona's got to win. Then it comes down to that last game to see who gets that bid.
And Arizona don't have nothing to lose.
Arizona has nothing to lose. Yeah. And it's just crazy that this game, even though our game is at 8:15 on Saturday, this game, the San Fran LA game, really doesn't mean as much as this 4 o'clock on that Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's really gonna be crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Game is gonna be tough. I think Seattle's gonna win that game personally.
Chiefs and the Bears.
I'm gonna go with Kansas City.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs and the
on the road. I'm gonna go with Kansas City.
And next Monday, Packers at the Vikings.
This is a big game.
Huge game.
This game is a big game.
Yeah, it's a huge game.
That Monday night game is a big game.
Huge game. And the ups and downs, Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. I gotta ride with my guy, Discount Double Check. Even though they've got a new coach and they've been struggling a little bit, it's just something about Aaron Rodgers in December. He has another zone, another level he goes to, especially when games mean something.
And I'm not sold on Minnesota's offense.
Yeah, I'm not either. You know, yeah, like we said, we know what Kirk Cousins is from him playing in Washington.
Did Dalvin Cook get hurt? Didn't he get hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt again.
Yeah, so
you know,
it's gonna come down to whether or not he's able to even function for the next game. So that's a big hit to their offense. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got some NBA games coming up tonight. You got the Wizards are at the Pistons, Cavs are at the Raptors, the Mavs are in Milwaukee to play the Bucks, to play the Thunder. The Heat are at the Grizzlies, The Blazers are in Phoenix to face off against the Suns. In your NHL games, the Caps are at the Blue Jackets. Senators are in Florida to play the Panthers. Nashville goes to the Rangers in New York. The Avalanche are at the Blues, and the Oilers are at the Stars. Now, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Sixers. We're going to get into some NBA stuff. As a matter of fact, we're not going to take a break yet. Before we go, I want to get into why we just talked about the Patriots game against, who were they playing this week? Who are they coming out? They're playing the Bills coming up this week. But more importantly, as you know, there is another controversy surrounding, or another controversy around the New England Patriots. So,
why they keep cheating, man? Come on, man.
You
They
know,
always got something going on, man.
listen.
They say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
And this is what he says. And he also says that, and we're referring to Bill Belichick now, that he had no involvement. But if you watched NFL Live yesterday, NFL Sunday, Jay Glazer broke the story. They showed video.
Showed the video, yeah.
And they had video and audio of that entire incident. And there was a confrontation, if you will, between Cincinnati Bengals officials and New England Patriots officials. Now, allegedly, this taping was for a web series that they are producing for the team. Well, herein lies the problem. The problem becomes when you've got these video guys, or these that allegedly saying we're getting some footage on an advanced scout. Okay. Well, an advanced scout has guidelines provided by the NFL.
Correct.
Institutions. Can't be on film. The scout is privy to that because he's there. He's the scout. That's part of his job. But he's supposed to make his notations and report that back. Not with video.
Right.
So they're videoing their substitutions and things of that nature. And for these guys that are doing this alleged web series to say we didn't know that we couldn't do this, we didn't know that we couldn't do that, it's a little far-fetched in my opinion, because you have to know.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in the booth with this scout or whatever, but this other scout, for sakes of conversation and dialogue, if you didn't know, red flag should have popped up when you were the only one in that box with a camera.
Correct. Well,
and then you continue to film.
Right. That's what it is. The continuation of film.
And you know, like I said, if you go back, if you didn't see it yesterday, the clip that Jay Glazer has that he provided
is very limited. It's
very in detail and in depth. And when I said they had a slight confrontation, while this audio was being, you know, subtitled in, the video's still going on.
The video's still going on. So
it's not like, oh, I'm gonna shut the camera off and you can talk to me, we can talk about it. It's like, all right, go ahead. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be filming.
And he's still filming.
But yeah, and I didn't know, but it's for a website series, and you know, but you see I got my hand up, so I'm still filming at the same time. So that's where the problem comes in.
It's just weird, man. Like, I just don't understand. Like, just like the one analyst said, you get paid to do a job. Absolutely. You have guidelines for their job. I cannot pay you, and then something like this happens, and I hear you say, I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah, that's
you know, easy analogy. You and I both have driving licenses. They're for driving privileges. The sign says 35 mile per hour speed limit. So if I'm doing 50 and get pulled over, and that cop says to me, you know why I pulled you over? You were speeding. And I say, well, I didn't know I couldn't do that. Because this is what this is what he's saying. The official was telling him, hey, you can't. I didn't know I couldn't do 50 in the school zone and it's 15.
Right.
So there's a penalty.
Yeah, absolutely.
For it. Now, who does the penalty go to now?
That's what the tough part is.
That's what it comes to, because at the end of the day, I hired you to do a job. Absolutely. I'm under the assumption that you know the rules. The rules, right. Because that's what we're paying you for. Right. So now when it comes back, he's pretty much not going to get it. He's not going to get the fine. Because they already paid the fine. Yeah. They already paid the fine. You know what I mean? The Patriots have already paid the fine. So it's like, okay, do you continue to have these mishaps underneath the umbrella of the Patriots and nobody think that these are not just incidents that keep happening to y'all? Like, come on. Like, it's just y'all.
Ain't nobody else.
Hey,
this is what was put out.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, brother.
This is what was put out in a statement by or from the New England Patriots as an organization. It says, for the past year, the New England Patriots content team has produced a series of behind-the-scenes features on various departments within the organization. The series is called, ironically, Do Your Job.
Oh, man.
Episodes are archived on Patriots.com. So, on December the 8th, the content team sent a three-person video crew to the Bengals-Brown games at First Energy Stadium in order to capture one part of a longer feature on the Patriots scouting department. In this case, a Patriots pro personnel scout while he was working in the press box. While we sought and were granted credentialed access from the Cleveland Browns for the video crew, our failure to inform the Bengals and league was an unintended oversight.
They want us to believe that.
Our failure to inform the Bengals and the league was an unintended oversight. In addition to filming the scout, the league rules inappropriately filmed the field from the press box. The sole purpose of the filming was to provide an illustration. I'm going to film the football field to give you some insight on an advanced scout in the NFL when that advanced scout is sitting to my left or to my right. But I'm going to film the field.
Right.
Now, just to throw this out there, I'm a 60-something-year-old fan. I just like watching football. That ain't, and I go, oh, Dad, they got a behind the scenes. Maybe I can learn some other stuff. Let me check this out. I'm watching. Oh, they got advanced scouting. I always wondered how teams got, information on whatever and how they game plan from. This might be interesting. Now I'm looking, I'm watching, and all I'm seeing is the field. They making substitutions on the field. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Now I'm even more confused.
Yeah.
But like, look, what is the scout just
what is
watching?
This?
The scout just watching them go back and forth on the field. Like, at that point, I might even say, well, hell, I can do that.
Right.
Oh, then I can travel light.
Right.
I can take my phone. All I gotta do is sit there and film the field. Hell, I can do that. They continue.
Oh, man.
We understand and acknowledge that our video knowingly violated a league policy by filming the field and sideline from the press box. When questioned, the crew immediately turned over all footage to the league and cooperated fully. Well, yeah, because they called the NFL security along with the Cincinnati Bengals security.
Right.
Because y'all was doing something y'all ain't had no business doing. The production crew is independent of a Do Your Job episode. Our football staff had no other involvement whatsoever in the planning, filming, or creative decisions made during the production of these features.
Well, you got to distance yourself.
Filming or creative decisions made during the production of these features. So, in other words, you telling me that you hired them to do this behind the scenes for your website, your team website.
Right.
But y'all don't have no creative anything. Y'all don't have no say in what gets published on your website.
I will tell you this. There's no way that the New England Patriots organization did not give them specific things to video. Because what's going to help you cheat? That footage he did. That footage that he's recording right there with them making their subs is what gives you the edge.
Is what gives you the edge.
You know what I mean? There's no way. Okay, I'll take it even further. Let's just say that he didn't. You bring to your film study. Are you moral enough to say, wait a minute, we can't watch this? Wait a minute, we got some extra footage that we know. Look. That we know if somebody had caught him, we would have a situation. Yes. Are the New England Patriots more? We already know they don't have. They've been caught cheating 1,000 times, so we know there's no moral substance to this team. This team uses and utilizes whatever it needs to get that edge. So it ain't no. I refuse to believe they did.
I refuse it. So we already know as a unit, as a group, friends, whatever. We already know where I stand with them, and them being the alleged most recent dynasty within the NFL. And I use that word alleged because I can't personally. And like I said, these are my opinions only. Nobody has influenced me. This most recent incident compounds the situation. Mm-hmm. I think it also gives me a little bit of leverage for my point on my behalf. And I say I can't label them as a dynasty.
Not with that asterisk. Not with these asterisks.
It's like we always said. We've always been saying there's been asterisks. But with this asterisk, right now, and I mean, we talked about kinks in the armor a few weeks ago, how they've been playing this season. We see it, and I'm sure they see it.
Mm-hmm. They need that edge.
So, like we say, controlling the narrative, protecting the house. They must feel like they need that edge.
Yeah.
And if the creative opportunities or the creative knowledge of the production of the video, I find it hard to believe because the video was on your team website.
Right.
So anything posted on that website, whether you have allegedly say you have direct or indirect hands in it, it's coming back to you anyway because it's on your website and you allowed it to be published.
Right. And at the end of the day, that's the accountability we talked about. They don't like taking accountability for
not at all. Like I mean, you go back to the last situation with the phone thing and Tom Brady. What did he do? He didn't just not give him the phone. He broke the phone.
He broke it. He broke it.
Broke the phone. So, again, I can't give them that as being the dynasty again. And it is what it is. We'll see what happens after this. I'm sure that some kind of punishment is going to have to be made in order for Roger Goodell to save face once again. So we'll see what happens. We will definitely get you all the information on that. We're going to take a quick one. When we come back, we're going to get into our NBA stuff. And we're going to talk Sixers briefly. And then there is something that I wanted to bring up. Now, Baldy, I sent you the pictures. But we're going to talk about this and we're going to break this down. With everything that goes on in the NBA, we talk about how the game has changed, the load management, and the way the players are today. I think it's a really interesting topic. So stay tuned, folks. We'll be back in just a second.